Okay, boys and girls, this is what I've got now. The Trumpeter 124 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. Now, I just got through a little while ago building the Hawker Hurricane in 1/32 scale, and that was a Revell kit. Um, this is a totally different scale and made by Trumpeter, and I've heard good things about it. And I've always wanted to build a large-scale airplane like this. So anyway, yeah, I've heard good things about it. So there's the nice artwork on the front of the Hurricane flying over the countryside. Here on the side of the box, we get a couple examples of two different versions, and you can see the difference in the decals right away. This one here, the roundel and the lettering is normal medium size, and then you come over to this one and it's much bigger. Everything's bigger as far as the markings go. That is one of the differences. The other difference is, as we'll see, I'm not sure if they're going to have it on the other side here. I'll turn this thing over and look. Now these pictures show the finished model just in the one version. One of the other versions that you can build as far as markings go is the underside will be one of the undersides of one of the wings will be all black. So yeah, that's all they show on the box cover, and we're going to go ahead and look at what you get in the box next, and we'll just see more of it. So here we go. Nice size decal sheet. The colors look good. The registration looks good. I have been reading online about this kit, and there's been 2 or 3 different reviews that were done that talk about these decals, and they are saying that the colors on these decals are too bright, so they're not realistic, and that there are aftermarket decals you can get, and all that's fine and good, but that's not a big issue with me. There's ways of dulling these down if I really wanted to, but we'll see. I don't mind if they're too bright, but it's a pretty good size decal sheet. There's not a lot of stencils. There's just a few little ones down here. But like I said, the colors registration looks right on. The instructions are a total of 26 steps. You get a couple pages that show the sprues. It's a map of the sprues. Included in this kit is a fret photo etch for the seat belts and harnesses. You get some plastic ignition wires or something for the engine, and you get a sticker or a piece of film or something for the instrument panel. Yeah. Like most kits, most airplane kits like this, it starts with the cockpit. So that is where I will be starting. And we'll just go from there. It looks pretty detailed. And then you move on to the engine, which is really detailed. And like I said, there's a total of 26 steps. There is this nice color poster here. It tells you where to put the decals and what colors to paint this thing. There's two different examples. There's this one here, which is the 257th Squadron in England in 1940. This is the one that has the underside in black and in sky gray. And then this other one is the 87th Squadron in England of 1940. Same basic camouflage patterns. The only difference that I can see is the entire underside of the airplane is the sky gray. So there we are. We're going to look at the parts next. The wings. They're pretty big. This whole sprue, in fact, is pretty big. It looks like to me like it is approximately 19.5 inches long, maybe 20 inches. The surface detail is pretty nice. There's rivet detail all over this thing. Panel lines are recessed. Top and bottom of the wing surfaces. These are clean, crisp moldings. I see just a touch of flash here and there. Nothing really serious. So there's the wings. All right, this next sprue is sprue A. We have the fuselage halves. We have, looks like maybe some gear parts. Some sort of a firewall here, some type. The interior of the fuselage is pretty basic as it sits. Really nice surface detail again. Rivets, recessed panel lines, and then the ridges of the rear of the fuselage are done really well. And nice crisp molding with very, very little flash. There's just a little bit here and there that I can see. So there we are. The P sprue. What do we have here? We have, looks like part of the cockpit framing, interior framing. Some wheel well parts. There's the section of the wings that have the machine gun ports. There is the spinner. Very, very flash free. Nice detailing on the surfaces. Looks really good. Okay, that is the P sprue. All right, the next bag had two sprues in it. This first one on top is the E sprue. E sprue, I see propellers, I see engine blocks, propeller hubs. Mostly all these parts have to do with the engine. This next sprue underneath that one is the D sprue. This one has ailerons or flaps. I'm not sure which they are. Tail sections, the rudder, stabilizers, gas tank, flash free, nice detail. So that's the D and the E sprues. Let's look at the next one. All right. Here we have two sprues. They look identical. The L sprue. And these have the parts for the machine guns. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe intake for the air or the radiator. I'm not sure. And these are both exactly the same. So we've got two sprues here for the machine guns and the L sprue, and it looks nice and clean and well molded. Don't see anything wrong with this one. Okay. This is the G sprue. This looks to have a lot of the parts we're going to need for the cockpit. I see the steering yoke. I see more of the internal framing for the cockpit. I see the seat, instrument panel part, a bunch of other smaller parts. There's the rudder pedals. Yeah, looks good. And this last plastic bag with plastic sprue in it is the H sprue. The H sprue has, looks like the ailerons for the main wings. Here's the landing gear doors right there. Here are the landing gear struts. This looks like a tail wheel, I think. And here's the main engine scoop, air intake for the engine. This could be flaps, I'm not positive. That's the H sprue, and it looks nice. Nicely detailed. Pretty flash free from what I can see. Crisp, molded. Yeah, the H sprue. Looks good. Here is the fret of photo etch. It's all seat belts and harnesses for the pilot. And on the other side is the instrument panel. It's not a decal, it's a piece of film, I think. I'm not sure exactly what it is, I'll find out. And then we have one more little package in here, which I'm assuming is the clear parts. Clear parts and tires. Here are the tires with the little rubber, I don't know, I guess it's the wiring harness for the engine. Here is the two plastic bags that have clear parts in them. This clear part bag has the, excuse me, the canopy, lights, and instrument panel. The gun sight. That's in this one. This plastic bag has clear parts for the engine paneling, the engine panels. They give you these in case you want to, see your engine. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I might. And there's the covers for the wing lights. And I think that's it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That's the Trumpeter 124 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. Next, coming up, we'll start building it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're starting on this Trumpeter 124 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. And we're going to start at the beginning, which is steps 1, 2, and 3 on the instructions. And these 3 steps have to do with building the cockpit. Step 1 is building the pilot seat. 2 is building a side instrument panel. Step 3 is putting together the cockpit seat with some of the framing inside the cockpit and the floor with the rudder pedals and the stick, the steering yoke. So, we're going to get the parts we need for this. And this will be the place where we use those photo etch parts if we choose to do so. I'm going to see how that works. I'm not very good with photo etch. I used to be when I was younger, and my fingers worked better and my eyesight was better. Now that I'm older, I get shaky and don't see up close as well as I used to. I still like photo etch and still try to do it. So we'll give that a try. So I'm going to find the parts we need for this first step, and it looks like they're all going to be on the G sprue plus the photo etch parts. Okay, here is the pilot seat with the armor plate behind it and the 2 levers on the side. I'm going to go ahead and paint this up now before I attempt to add the photo etch seat belts. Alright, here is the pilot seat with the harnesses on. These are made out of photo etch that came with the kit. They look okay. They're not the greatest, but they look okay. So, there's a little better light there maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that's how they came out. So now we're going to move on to the next step, and that is step 2. Looks like we're going to build up a little bit of one of these side panels, and then when we get that done, we're going to start building up the cockpit more and put the seat down and the rudder pedals on the floor. Okay. Step 2 is beginning to put this cockpit together more. And I've got the parts I need right here, cut off the sprue and cleaned up. And I'll be adding a couple of photo etch parts to this. Once I get that all done, and then I'll paint it, and that'll be the end of step 2. Step 3. Step 2 is already done, and that was just putting together this little strip right here. It's photo etch with some plastic parts added to it, and then that's going to be added onto this. Okay, and then when we move on to step 4, we're going to be working on the instrument panel, looks like. Here is the cockpit so far. before I go any further with it, excuse me, after the glue is all completely set up, I'm going to start painting what I have put together here so far. Of course, the seat doesn't need to be painted, but everything else does. Alright, here's the cockpit up to this point. I have yet to do any kind of dry brushing onto this, but some areas of this are still wet. The paint is still wet, and the glue is just about totally set up. So I'm going to set this aside for now. I'm going to move over here to step 4. Specifically, I'm going to build this fuel tank right here. It consists of 3 parts off the G sprue, and it gets painted red. So I'm going to find those parts and build this fuel tank. Alright, so here is the cockpit with the fuel tank. I just got through painting it, so there's a little touch of wetness on it right there. But there it is. So far, it's coming out pretty good. I have to paint that little lever right there on the side. But everything else is done and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that little lever, and this is drying, and that's it. That's it through step 4. Well, not quite all of step 4. Step 4 was the gas tank and building up the instrument panel and attaching the instrument panel to this cockpit assembly. But right now, I just haven't really started on the instrument panel yet. So that's going to be it for this time. And I'll leave the instrument panel to the next part of this build. So thanks for tuning in and watching, those of you who have. And have a good day, and thanks for watching.